A few days ago, somebody left a comment on one of my Instagram posts, which is always appreciated. But for some reason, something drew me to check out their profile, just to find these teenage alternative punk rock kids. Curiosity was killing me, so I went on to Spotify looking for their music, and there it was. 2 newly released singles, and I loved them. Of course, being a sucker for a great story, I had to reach out. So after a couple of interactions, we set up an interview, which you can watch later on the second half of this video. Just to give you an advance, I think that their music would be perfect for Tony Hawk's next video game. Did you hear that, Tony? Vamos! Hola amigos, bienvenidos to Indie Resistance, another week. Joampla here, ready to share with you a very special band that I discovered and that I think deserves your attention. Please remember to click that like button, subscribe to the channel, and visit my website for more reviews and the hottest merchandise. Link below. Alright, the band that I'm going to be talking about today are from Southern California, and they are 4 teenage brothers playing together. The name is TRUEBLOOD, and they are getting massive, and I mean massive attention, not only on social media, but also from the industry. And it's interesting because they've only been releasing content for 3 months. Anyway, before I dive in, you guessed it, let's go with the 3 reference bands. They are Paramore, Molencolin, Foo Fighters. So what makes this band so interesting? Well, let's start with the fact that they are 4 brothers. Yes, as in coming from the same 2 people.
That's hilarious.
And then the fact that at such a young age, their songwriting, their compositions, and their performance is actually rock solid. Always supported by their parents, TRUEBLOOD decided to start playing together as a band around 4 years ago, right in the middle of the COVID disaster. The band members are Ethan on bass, Mason on vocals and guitar, Dylan on lead guitar, and Cameron on drums. And their ages are 12, 14, 15, and 17. Wow. While they only have a few songs released, TRUEBLOOD's music captivated me from the beginning, especially Enemy and Never Let You Down, which are the songs released on Spotify. But there's also an acoustic track called Keeping It Together that they released on their SoundCloud. Their sound is a blend of punk rock and alternative music, but with a strong influence of the 80s hard rock sound. For some reason, the all-female heavy metal band Vixen comes to mind when listening to certain passages of their music. Now, the band has already played a few dozen shows, and about 3 months ago, they started releasing content on TikTok and Instagram. To their surprise, the clips, the videos went totally viral, reaching 30 million views, 25 million views, 7 million views. Speechless. So something's going on. You know what? Let's listen to these guys. This is Enemy.
Block you on a message, but you still send me memes. And you show up to my house, but I just want you to leave. No, you leave my friends at lunch like, boy, what are you trying to achieve? Oh, all these things you're doing push you further away from me. 'Cause I don't wanna be your enemy, but you won't ever be a friend of me.
I love it. Me encanta, what can I say? Catchy melodies, great guitar riffs, high energy, solid performance. I just think it's great. Which takes me to talk about production. TRUEBLOOD decided to work with none other than Paul Miner, who's known for his work with New Found Glory, Thrice, or H2O, to name a few, and also for being a founding member of the punk rock band Death by Stereo. Miner obviously helped TRUEBLOOD to reach their best potential. The songs are more cohesive, and there's a sense of clarity in the production. The good news is that they're going to be releasing new singles once a month in the upcoming months, so stay tuned. Speaking to TRUEBLOOD, I could see 4 highly talented and motivated individuals who happen to be brothers, and that are trying to stay focused on their music and keep their foot on the ground while dreaming that someday they're going to be able to open for a band called Paramore. Look, everything is possible. I think that if you stay focused, it's going to happen. Now, I'm going to leave you with the interview. Please meet TRUEBLOOD. True Blood, welcome to Indie Resistance. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you so much for having us.
Of course, guys. I'm going to ask you, please, can you introduce yourselves and tell your age, because people are going to be very surprised.
Yeah, sure. I'm Cameron. I do the drums, and I'm 17.
I'm Mason. I sing and play guitar, and I'm 14.
I'm Dylan. I play the guitar and I'm 15.
Yeah, I'm Ethan, and I play the bass, and I'm 12.
All right, guys. It's nice to meet you. Welcome to my channel. Look, I've been interested. I've been listening to your stuff, both what you have on Spotify and the stuff that you have on SoundCloud. There's definitely a next level production in terms of the songs that you have on Spotify, which are Never Let You Down and Enemy. I want to say I love them. I think
That's great.
yeah, man, I really, look, I wouldn't be here if I didn't like the music. I find a mix of punk rock, California punk rock, which makes sense. You guys are from California, but also like 80s hard rock melodies.
I guess a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, I never
that's
really
what we
thought
grew
about
up
that.
listening to, so yeah.
Oh, there you go. I was going to ask, like, why am I feeling that? What are your influences? And the bands that you grew up with listening with.
Yeah, I mean, like, as, I guess, more little kids, we grew up listening to a lot of classic rock, like, honestly, Queen, Guns N' Roses, AC/DC,
Just the big umbrella term of like dad rock and stuff.
yeah, dad rock kind of, yeah. And now we listen to a little bit more modern rock and different genres, like Paramore, Foo Fighters, a lot of that stuff we listen to now.
Yeah.
When did you guys start? Because you're very young. So when did you start? Who is the first one who picked up an instrument, and how that influenced the other brothers to actually get into it? Or did you guys all decide it together? Tell me the story.
So story goes, I picked up the drums like before I can remember picking up the drums, when I was like 2 or 3 or so. And it started very small, obviously, like Toys R Us drum sets and stuff, but I just didn't stop. And as I got older and they got older, they just grew up with a drum set in the house. So Mason and Ethan, they picked up drums as well. And then Mason started playing. Here, if you guys want to take it.
We all kind of started playing different instruments. Like, Dylan started with piano, then he moved to, guitar. I started playing drums, then bass, Ethan was singing for a while, and he moved to bass, and
So just before COVID, we realized, oh, wait a minute. Now we're at the point where we're all playing instruments, and we're all in the same house. And it just kind of came about naturally, like, why not play music together now that we all knew how to play music?
Especially with quarantine, when we were, like, kind of in the same space, we were like, oh, shoot.
Like, what was there else to do,
It was never really, like, the plan all along, but it just kind of happened, it all came together.
And we just kept rolling with it, and now we're here.
That's very cool, man. And so did you guys all agree from the get-go that the name of the band had to be True Blood?
No, actually, no.
Just a fun backstory.
Yeah.
All our names are Cameron, Dylan, Mason, Ethan. So our old band name used to be CDME.
Acronym.
All our
like our initials.
Our first name initials. But nobody could really remember it, and
We kept getting introduced, like, incorrectly at like, shows and stuff.
Yeah.
So we decided, like, why not change it to True Blood?
Yeah.
It already sounds cool, and no one can sue us over it because it's our last name.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Do that. Yeah, we like it.
Yeah. No, I think it's great. I realized later on, after I started looking a little bit more into you guys, that it was your last name. But I thought, look, it's a great name. I love it. Let me ask you. I've noticed on Instagram, you guys have a massive following. I don't use TikTok, but I saw also somehow that you guys also have a big following. What happened? What's the story there?
Well,
All right, so that was, I think, less than 90 days ago, we uploaded our first video to TikTok, and we'd been putting stuff up on Instagram for a little while, but like, and we'd gotten to places. I think we got up to like 40K on Instagram, and then got hacked, lost it all.
Yeah, so we kind of decided, so with all the TikTok stuff going on, we decided to start a new Instagram and kind of clean everything out, clean all the old videos out. And we started posting videos from our TikTok to our Instagram. And we used this this option called trial reels, where it kind of pushed it out to not just your followers, and it helps a lot. Like, we have a video on TikTok with 29 million right now, and we have a different video on Instagram with 29 million now.
So the platform sort of helped each other out, you know?
Yeah.
And just things just kept going well on TikTok.
Yeah.
And so, like
And so we have some people from Instagram that didn't even know we had a TikTok. And so it's kind of crazy.
That's incredible, but congratulations, because it's not easy. I mean, my channel is growing. I started in September, but it takes time, but I'm trying to do really quality music. The concept is finding artists that I like and talk about them. I'm not going to be talking about Linkin Park or stuff like that because there's a lot of people talking about them. I'm just trying to find more independent artists. When I found you guys and I went on Spotify, I'm like, wait a minute, what's going on? Like, as I was saying, the music is fun. It's really cool. Your melodies and vocals, I mean, man, like you sing with your heart, which is great. And also you have on SoundCloud, you have the acoustic song, keeping it all together.
Yes, yeah.
And you're projecting. It's really cool. Have you taken like singing lessons, or it's just natural?
Yeah, I started taking singing lessons maybe a couple months ago.
Yeah.
And it's really helped me out a lot. I think that song specifically was before I started taking those lessons. We had been taking some lessons on and off before then, but yeah, the lessons definitely helped me out a lot, especially I'm going through a lot of vocal changes right now as a 14-year-old boy. So, we'll see. We'll see how that goes.
What's the process, the creative process?
So, I'm kind of yapping a lot, but
go for it.
we usually start, I just like kind of think of the outline in my room, like think of a riff or like a chord progression and, add some melody to it and add lyrics to it. And then I bring it to the garage with all of us and we kind of make it better. And
and it evolves as we're all jamming together. And
I try to make it
writing our own parts and everything.
Yeah,
too.
and the reason it works is because I try to. Obviously, we're brothers, and we kind of have like this internal connection where we can like kind of read each other's minds a little bit.
Because we've been playing together for so long, improvising together for so long,
So like we all kind of like agree with most of the options in making a song.
Where the song's going to go next.
I was going to ask, like, how do you guys resolve any creative conflicts? Like, is there someone who has the last word, or you guys always come to terms to?
I feel like we usually talk it through pretty good, but
we just punch each other usually.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, things usually get resolved pretty good. I mean, again, like we're siblings, so we've grown up like disagreeing over all sorts of things. So, but when it's something that we're all passionate about and we all like want to make the best thing, we usually come to an answer.
Yeah,
I think we're pretty good at resolving things, because we've lived together for
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
12 years, I guess, all four of us. So, if we didn't know how to resolve things by now, probably would be going pretty well.
I remember one time. Sorry, this is a bit of a tangent, but we were in Joshua Tree, and I heard Mason way off in the distance, like hidden behind some rocks, just singing to himself and playing something on guitar. I could hardly even hear the guitar. I could just hear the melody. And that was maybe 3 years ago, or maybe 3 years ago. And then that song, we took it back home, and it's just evolved and slowly changed over the years. And now it's Enemy. It's out on Spotify now, just as of a couple weeks ago.
I do think it's my favorite. So yeah,
I like it a lot too.
Yeah, it's really cool. Where did you record these couple songs? Never Let You Down and Enemy.
Yeah, we record with this guy called Paul Miner up in OC, like sort of LA up north. But we've recorded like 5 more songs unreleased with him. Maybe,
okay.
Yeah,
so they're on their way.
That we're still trying to release it.
So you're releasing like singles. I think I read somewhere every month you're going to be releasing a single, and then
probably
every 6 weeks or so. Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
More or less 3 weeks. Yeah.
What was your experience? Is it the first time that you guys recorded with, because he has like a nice trajectory. Were you guys nervous? What was the experience in the studio?
Do you want to take this? Well, I mean, we did like a little bit of recording right before COVID, and then, everything hit. We were stuck inside our house.
Yeah.
And we were just kind of, sitting with all these songs. I mean, that was like 4 years ago. And
5 now.
Yeah, 5. That's so weird to think about.
So before we used to just record in our garage.
Right.
A lot of the songs you hear on SoundCloud probably that are still up there are like maybe 3 or 2 years ago.
I'm looking at the garage right now at the window, and yeah, it's right there.
These Never Let You Down and Enemy songs are like the first time we kind of, found a producer we really like in an actual studio.
I went to an actual studio. But yeah, over COVID, we built up our own little place in the garage, and it started out with like, March 2020. It was more like, okay, what iPhone sounds the best, the 12 or like the 10? And then by the end of it, we had actual microphones, like a full like mic drum set and all that stuff. But yeah, now we're moving to actual studios.
That's cool, man. That's cool. What do you guys think you learned the most with the experience of working with Paul?
We've sort of gotten down to a science, walking in the door at 10 a.m. and walking out at 1 or 2 or 3 with the song all the way recorded. We practice it at home, and then we're able to rock in, and like I said, it's down to a science. Everyone sits down, sets up, we play through the song until we have a solid drum track. You overlay, and it's really efficient at this point, and I'm very happy with that process.
By the time we're in the studio, like physically, we usually have the song like the song's done. Like we've practiced it.
We try to
many
practice
times
it
at
before.
home, gone over all the little bits. Sometimes there's like little revisions that happen in there. I think if there's one thing we've learned from Paul, anyone who we've recorded with, is just being able to look at our own music and see like little things and be able to like critique your own work in a way.
What is the best thing of playing in a band?
I'm gonna go with playing live. I love that so much.
I think playing live is my favorite.
It's really amazing.
Yeah, I mean, what's nice about having a band is like you can have all these ideas in your head of like a full rock song, but you'll never really get to play it by yourself unless you have like everyone else.
We have a place now where we can together flesh out any ideas we have, and it's a really good feeling to have that creativity and to do it with people that you know and love so much.
For sure.
Just whenever we want, we can walk in there and make art, and it's a really great time.
That's cool. How many shows have you guys played so far?
Oh my gosh, I don't even know.
After TikTok started, we've played 1 so far.
Yes, that's how recently TikTok blew up. We've only played 1 show since then.
But before then, we played plenty of shows.
I want to say dozens. At this point. But like little things, like in random bars and like street fairs that are happening.
Yeah, it wasn't like anything crazy.
I think there's a candle store.
Oh, that was forever ago. Yeah, we did like an acoustic set at like a candle shop in Huntington Beach or something. Hey, it was a good time.
Venue, right?
Our dad just apologized, but it was a fun time.
That's
right. Smelled pretty good.
Yeah, man. It's exactly. It smelled good, and it's always a good experience. What are your main influences right now? And let's go one by one. Let's start with Ethan. Yeah.
I mean, as a band, I think one of our biggest influences is Paramore. Maybe Foo Fighters. Definitely Foo Fighters. Yeah.
Just stuff like that's common to all of us, and Nirvana and Smashing Pumpkins.
Yes.
And, ton
for
of
sure.
grunge
All the
stuff, alt
stuff
rock
we
stuff.
grew up with.
Yeah.
So, is there like any artist that one of you listens that the other ones can't stand?
Oh, for sure. I think for sure. So we have those artists that are common to all of us, and that's like really helped us build our sound together. But each of us has our own like individual tastes too, and I think that creeps into the original music as well, like in little ways.
Yeah.
So like Ethan, what do you listen to that the rest of us don't listen to?
Mumble rap.
Mumble rap. Travis Scott is.
Oh, Travis Scott.
Yeah. Lil Baby, Gunna.
Lil Baby Gunna, yeah.
And how about you?
I don't know. I listen to a lot of like random things. Maybe one day it's Katy Perry, the other day it's like Polyphia.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Olivia. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
We do touch on more metal adjacent genres as well.
I'd say me and Ethan are a little bit. We listen to quite a bit of rap,
Yeah.
and them
He
not
does
as
a lot
much.
of jazz.
He listens to a lot of
we both listen to a lot of jazz.
Japanese.
Love jazz fusion. Japanese jazz fusion is amazing.
And then this guy went through a little bit of Yoasobi phase.
Oh yeah, Yoasobi
that
is good
was a
too.
while ago,
That's cool.
I do a little. I dabble in listening to electronica, like Aphex Twin and Radiohead and just stuff like that.
21
Dabble.
Pilots.
Oh yeah, and then
21
you don't just
21
dab.
Pilots. 21 Pilots is a big one for all of us.
yeah.
There you go.
They're an inspiration with their stage presence. Their stage presence is
It's crazy.
It's very rich that you listen to all this different music. How do you guys balance school with homework, with playing?
An annoying one. I'm honestly, I'm a senior in high school right now, and I'm planning on taking a gap year to pursue music further. And I was already planning on doing that, and then TikTok happened, so I'm like, oh, that actually wasn't a terrible decision. So that's been interesting. But I don't know. We don't have to record videos all that often. I mean, like maybe twice a week we walk into the garage.
Yeah, honestly, like two to three times a week we record, and every time we record like about even one video sometimes.
Yeah, a lot of the times just on the spot, like, oh, Cameron doesn't have a lot of homework tonight. Let's go in there and record a video.
Yeah, so it's really
it's very flexible. It's not like scheduled out ahead of time.
Since we all live in the same house.
Yeah. That's cool.
But going forward, sorry.
But so basically, because that's what's different now with the bands. I did an interview with not an interview, a review on South Arcade from the UK. And they also exploded on TikTok, and the video my review keeps getting views and views and views. One thing that I see now with the bands coming up is that the main difference is that you have to create content. It's almost like impossible to do anything if you guys are not really present on the social media. Is that something that you guys actually enjoy, or is that something that you do it mostly to help the band grow?
Both. We both. Sorry, you go ahead.
Oh, I mean, it's definitely both because nowadays, I mean, in the past 5 years, you probably can't even think of. I mean, I can't even think of like one artist that I heard from someplace other than social media because it's become such like an integral part of blowing up as a band, social media, because now it's just like 50-50. Like you need both in order to like go anywhere. And maybe 10, 20 years ago, that wasn't even the case, not in the slightest.
And we avoided that for so long. We only just started making TikToks, and we've been a band for quite a while, and we almost didn't want to cave to that because we didn't want to get stuck in that grind.
I wanted to do it.
Yeah, but we also Mason had the foresight. I frankly thought that it wouldn't go many places. I didn't think it would be as successful as it was. I was thinking that we'd spend, the next 3 years trying to build up to the audience we've gotten in just 90 days. And so that's been very fortunate, and so we're definitely going to keep pursuing that because it has been a lot of fun.
I think it's been like exactly 3 months to the day now.
Wait, it's the 15th.
It's the 15th, right? Yeah, November 15th.
3 months to the day.
Yeah, 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh, wow.
It's like you're saying, it's definitely helping the band, and since we enjoy making the videos and they help us do the things we also love, like create originals that people will actually listen to, like be able to do shows that people will actually come to, it's definitely a positive.
It's pretty cool. Yeah.
That's cool. And is there anything special that happened to you guys or anybody specifically that approached to you guys because of the videos that, people went like, hey, I want to meet you, whatever. Like, is there anything that you have accomplished thanks to the videos or the music itself?
Yeah, definitely. We've gotten, ever since everything started happening, we've been getting tons and tons of emails from managers, labels.
Very strange.
It's really, really weird.
It's surreal.
Like, how insane.
Really?
Because there's a lot of people like, kind of scouting out for these TikTok up and coming bands, and since we've been kind of blowing up recently, it's, we've been getting a lot of those.
Yeah. We're just trying to keep it up and prove that we're more than like a 15 minutes of fame sort of situation.
Yeah.
More than like a TikTok band.
Because we love this and we want to do it outside of social media. That's something we want to move beyond at some point,
Yeah.
Okay, I was going to say there was one moment that happened recently. It was February 2nd. We had a show, and it was, like Mason was mentioning it, the first show that we've done since we became popular on TikTok. And it was the first show we've ever had where people came to see us. Usually, like, they're supposed to do it to a situation where, like, we show up and it's a street fair or something and there just are already people there to, like, get hot dogs or whatever. And we play and they're like, oh, that was nice. And then they forget about us, And it's fine. And we were happy with that. But for the first time, seeing people come to see us and knowing the lyrics
on
to
purpose,
our song. Yeah, on purpose.
On
coming
purpose
to see
coming
us.
to see us.
There's like 200, 300 people.
Yeah, about 300 people were there, and we had released a song that morning. Enemy had come out that morning, and people knew the words.
Yeah.
And that was
weird.
Such a strange experience.
It's crazy.
As with social media, it's just as we continue to grow, I just think it's important that we keep using it as a tool for growth, rather than just confining ourselves into this like, oh, we're just a band that exists on social media.
I mean, it's fun. We all know it's fun to get views and followers. Like we admit that, but like
it is a bit of
it's
a
not
drug.
the main thing.
We don't want it to be our main thing.
No, look, I think you guys are have the right mindset, because when I was listening to the music, I had no idea of like that you exploded on TikTok or Instagram. I mean, I saw you guys had followers, but I went straight to listen to what's going on, and I felt that the execution is very solid. I think you guys have a lot of talent. So if you don't get sidetracked for by bullshit and the stars and the dreams and everything that is out there, if you focus on music, I think you can make it like a long-lasting career. I think it's not going to change. People want to see bands playing live. You guys are very, very young. You have the time to evolve and keep growing as musicians. I agree with the fact that use it as a tool. You have a good advantage that you already grabbed some attention, but I would say now it's up to you. Like the music that you put out there needs to be up to par, and every day it needs to be better.
Yeah.
Because if you do that, I don't think it's going to be a 15-minute fame. It's going to be like a solid career. But you need to know what the priorities are, because you can get sidetracked. You mentioned that record labels, managers, and stuff have been reaching out. What is your position about it? Like, what are you guys? If you want to share, what's the idea?
As of right now, we're just keeping all of our options open. We're taking every meeting just so we can meet all these people, like create all these connections, because some of these people that have been reaching out to us have these insane connections, and just making sure that we're making friends with everybody, because everybody in that whole world's connected in some way. Everybody knows everybody. So make sure we're putting our good foot forward.
But no pens are on paper yet. Nothing's being signed.
We're being careful not to commit to anything too early, or just like, oh, these people want us, let's sign with them immediately, Because
this, it's a crazy industry, and like we are just kids. We want to be as careful as we can with this, and our parents have done an amazing job handling just like Dylan saying, like just onslaught of emails from different people. Yeah.
I think, if I can throw in my 2 cents here, I think you guys need to not rush into getting signed. Because, put it this way, if you get bigger and get more consistent into like what you are doing already, you may not even need the record label. And then you will have the leverage that if somebody wants to actually sign you, then you can put your own conditions. The problem is that at the moment that you guys are right now, if you go ahead and sign, for whatever reasons they offer you a lot of stuff, you're going to be tight creatively. They're going to be owning the masters. They're going to be pushing you to squeeze as much as they can from you, and you guys are very young to be under that pressure. I think that my little advice would be hold as much as you can, because you may not even need a record label nowadays.
I think we generally feel the same right now. We're just looking to get a lawyer first, someone that knows how to vet all the people that will be trying to, like you're saying, just grab a hold of us as soon as possible and choke every cent out that they can.
Yeah. So if you guys could open for any band or artist, which one would it be? Ethan?
If we could, I think Paramore would.
I know they keep coming up, but I mean, it's true.
It's fine.
My main.
Yeah, because we
bands
did
to
see
open up for.
we did see another sort of kid band open for Paramore when we saw them. And,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
The Linda Lindas.
the Linda Lindas is their name, and so we're like, oh shoot, it's possible.
Right.
You know?
We saw
Yeah,
that.
yeah, no, everything is possible. Dylan?
I don't know. I mean, like, Foo Fighters. There's all these like amazing rock bands, that I think.
Green Day might be.
And
sick.
they come
Green
through
Day.
town, and sometimes they have local openers, and
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, I was gonna say Green Day, maybe even like 21 Pilots.
And these are dreams, like crazy high up.
Yeah,
dreams.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
not like it's gonna
Maybe,
happen.
Right.
I mean, maybe like Surf Curse too, like stuff like that.
Yeah.
What's his next? Rex, Orange County.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
This is random, but there's this British band I really, really like. They're not as popular in the States, but they're ridiculous over there called Nothing But Thieves, and we saw them come through town, and I love them, and I think it would be a great time to open for the like it would be really fun to open for them, and it's neat because they play smaller venues over here, but they're doing like stadiums and arenas over there.
That's
they just like really nice guys because
Yeah.
we want to be in business and work with people that are nice people.
Yeah.
For sure.
All right. Well, I guess we're getting close to the end. What can we expect next from True Blood?
More originals.
Yeah.
More
lot more-
videos.
Yeah,
A
more
lot more
originals, more videos. Videos of originals.
More shows.
Yeah.
More everything,
Just
hopefully.
More of everything we've been doing and moving towards, like, whether you call it just more original songs or like an album, if that's how we end up packaging it.
Yeah.
Maybe some videos in the mountains.
Some sort of
Oh yeah, you
tour
can be
or
looking
anything,
forward to videos in the mountains as of next week.
Yeah.
Yes.
Awesome.
I don't know when this video will be up, so they might be up by then. But yeah.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much. It was a pleasure to get to know you. I really wish you the best. I think you have the skills to do it and the attitude. Just stay focused and don't get in too much trouble, even though you play rock and roll.
Will do.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Have a good evening.
You too. Nice to meet you.
See ya.